Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we're talking about Thor the Dark World, a movie that came out back in 2013 starring Chris Hemsworth. And in Thor the Dark World, the Dark Elves are looking for this object called the Aether, and the only one that can stop them from world domination is Thor. Okay, so to get things started, first and foremost, I like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. As I've stated before, I think he was probably the perfect choice for Thor. And many of the cast members in this movie are really good as well. And from a tonal, stylistic point, this movie carried on what the first Thor did. And the film is this really serious movie. It's a little bit darker than the first Thor, but honestly, that's okay. This was the early days of the Disney-controlled MCU, and despite the Avengers having this kind of meta, goofy nature towards it, Disney was still carrying on what Paramount was doing, and were making pretty serious movies. And I know I've stated this a million times, but I'm gonna say it again. I miss that MCU. And the story of the Dark World is actually, for the most part, really good. There are some stuff in it that's just kind of like okay. But for the sake of Thor's evolution, this story is pretty much what it needed to be. Because ultimately, Thor has to evolve as a character. And some of the routes they took, some of the risks they took in this film, I think were completely necessary. I hesitate to call this movie anywhere near perfect, though. The movie's main villain, Malekith, the leader of the Dark Elves, he is a terribly written character. He's a terribly written character because you literally know nothing about who he is as a person. Why does he want to dominate the 9 realms? You don't know anything. While you don't necessarily need to create a motive for every villain or anything like that, they should have some kind of personality. Malekith has none. He just kind of walks around, fights, and talks. That's it. That's all you know about him. Natalie Portman is the only real weak actor in the movie. And unlike in the first movie where it's just kind of like, okay, she's there, whatever, her character is pretty important in this chapter. And you can tell Portman doesn't want to be here. She doesn't want to be in this movie. She doesn't want to be associated with this movie. You can tell that by her performance, because she's completely dull. Last real gripe about the movie is something that only kind of recently started. It's visuals. I watched it in 4K just like the first Thor. The first Thor looks great in 4K. This one doesn't, and there is a reason. The first Thor was shot on film stock, and they just simply laser scanned the movie, the film print of it. And when you do that, it looks great. Film looks amazing in 4K. This movie was shot on digital in HD, and it's upscaled. It ranges very much from a good upscale to a really bad and noticeable upscale. All in all, Thor the Dark World, for the most part, it's a good movie. It's nothing great. There's some flaws in it, one of which only kind of just started showing up. In terms of would I recommend this, yeah, but at your own pace. It's not an important film to watch, but if you want to check it out, I say go ahead. I'm gonna give Thor the Dark World a 7. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel, And as always, please remember, the Brodetsky will return.